7 historic rings of queens that vanished from royal vaults forever. For royal jewels, disappearance is not unheard of. Many people remember how the Queen Mother's famous cashmere sapphire engagement ring suddenly vanished from her finger, quietly replaced by a pearl ring. For years, royal watchers speculated about what happened to that extraordinary sapphire. But unlike many lost royal jewels, that ring never truly left the royal collection. It is believed to still rest today inside the royal vaults, simply unused. Tonight, however, we're exploring a very different story. These are the historic and rare rings of queens that didn't stay in palace vaults. Rings that slipped out of royal hands forever. From imperial diamonds to legendary engagement rings, these are 7 historic royal rings that no palace owns today. Queen Fabiola engagement ring. Let's start with a jewel that many believed would always remain part of Belgium's royal heritage. When King Baudouin of Belgium proposed to Queen Fabiola of Belgium in 1960, he presented her with a striking emerald engagement ring that would become one of the most recognisable jewels of the Belgian monarchy. The ring, crafted in 18-carat yellow gold, features a central oval-cut emerald weighing about 13.36 carats, flanked by 2 trillion cut diamonds totalling roughly 2.1 carats. It was the very ring she wore when the couple married on December 15, 1960, at the Cathedral of St. Michael and St. Gudula. For decades, it was seen not just as a personal jewel, but as a small piece of national heritage tied to the royal family. Royal correspondent Jelke van Duys once noted that if Fabiola's jewels ever left the royal family through auction, the country would lose yet another tangible piece of its monarchical history. And that is exactly what happened. The ring resurfaced on the market this year through Ants Arena, where it quietly went up for sale. Even though the auction house did not heavily promote its royal provenance, the historic jewel still drew strong interest and ultimately sold for €34,000, nearly double its estimate. Now, in the hands of a private buyer and becoming another historic royal jewel that no palace owns today, it is a pity the heir who inherited it didn't keep it within the family without children. Fabiola should have given her jewels to the Belgian crown so they could be made available to the Belgian queens. Queen Mary's wedding gift. A ring that many believe should have remained in the Royal Trust collection, but unfortunately met a different fate. While the engagement ring of Queen Mary still survives in the royal vaults, this particular ring was a separate jewel, given to her by her father-in-law, King Edward VII, on the occasion of Mary's marriage to George V, then the Duke of York, in 1893. Something so precious and directly tied to the era of King Edward would seem like the kind of heirloom meant to stay within royal collections forever. But Queen Mary, who possessed one of the largest royal jewellery collections in history, eventually passed this ring on to another royal, Princess Margaret. The ring itself was a beautiful family heirloom, a marquise-shaped diamond set within a calibre-cut ruby border, leading to split diamond shoulders and a reeded hoop, mounted in platinum and gold. After the death of Princess Margaret, the Snowdon family decided to part with the jewel. Interestingly, the ring was rarely seen worn by Princess Margaret, but despite its deep royal history, the heirloom eventually appeared at Christie's. On June 13, 2006, the ring was sold to a private collector for £57,600, meaning this historic royal wedding gift is now another ring that no palace owns today. The Queen Maria José ruby ring. Marie José, the last queen of Italy who ruled for just 1 month, received a remarkable ruby and diamond ring as a wedding gift from Tamaro de Marinis, a famous merchant and collector of antique books, on the occasion of her marriage to Crown Prince Umberto in 1930. This ring wasn't just beautiful, it was historic and rare, a piece that tied her directly to the heritage of Italy and European monarchy. Yet, instead of remaining in the royal family, the Queen sold it before her death rather than passing it down to her children. Had it stayed, we might have seen it worn by Princess Clotilde Marie Pascale of Savoy or Princess Marina of Savoy, preserving a tangible link to Italian royal history. The centerpiece is a pigeon-red Burmese ruby weighing 8.48 carats, surrounded by 16 sparkling diamonds. Its rarity and provenance made it a standout at auction, with a pre-sale high estimate of $9 million, roughly $1.06 million per carat. For comparison, a 25.59 carat Burmese ruby, later sold for $30.3 million, marking the first non-diamond ever to sell for over $1 million per carat and tripling the previous record for a ruby. It would have been truly exceptional had it been in the royal hands and not drained down into a private collection, becoming yet another royal jewel that no palace owns today. Queen Elizabeth II engagement ring. The engagement ring of Queen Elizabeth II carries a deeply romantic and historic story. In 1947, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, proposed a ring he designed himself. The ring features a large, brilliant cut centre diamond flanked by smaller diamonds and was crafted by the London jeweller Philip Antrobus Limited. What makes the ring even more special is the origin of its diamonds. The stones were taken from a diamond and aquamarine tiara belonging to Philip's mother, Princess Alice of Battenberg. That tiara itself had an extraordinary royal history. It was a wedding gift from Nicholas II of Russia and Alexandra Feodorovna. Because of this origin, royal insiders have long believed the engagement ring was considered personal property of Queen Elizabeth, not part of the crown jewels. And when the Queen divided many of her private jewels among family members, pieces with strong Mountbatten or Battenberg connections were thought to have been directed toward her only daughter, Anne, Princess Royal. There was likely a quiet hierarchy when Queen Elizabeth's private collection was distributed, but a jewel with such family history may have gone outside that usual order. Today, experts estimate the ring's market value at around $250,000, though its historical significance is far greater. Many royal watchers believe the ring may now rest with Princess Anne, who was also given the Greek key tiara, another jewel connected to Princess Alice of Battenberg. The Queen also gifted Anne several of her everyday personal jewels, including her well-known 3-strand pearl necklace. If true, this would mean that one of Queen Elizabeth's most sentimental jewels, her engagement ring, quietly moved from the monarch's vault into the personal collection of the Princess Royal, continuing its story within the family. Princess Nesta Sultan Pink Diamond Ring. A royal ring that carried the memory of an entire fallen empire, the pink diamond ring of Princess Nesta Sultan was a remarkable jewel she received just before her wedding in 1940. Nesta Sultan holds a special place in history. She was the last Ottoman princess born into the imperial family before the fall of the Ottoman Empire. At the centre of the ring is a rare 13.86 carat light pink diamond, surrounded by old mine-cut and rose-cut diamonds. It was once part of a larger coloured diamond parure that belonged to the princess. But royal life was far from easy. While living in exile in Switzerland after being accused of involvement in a political plot against the Egyptian government, Nesta was forced to sell much of her historic jewellery in 1963. Even then, she made a very intentional choice. She separated this pink diamond ring from the rest of the set so she could keep it for her children and preserve a piece of her royal lineage. The family managed to hold on to the ring for many years, even for more than a decade after the princess passed away in 2012. Eventually, though, the decision was made to let it go. In November 2025, the historic jewel appeared at Sotheby's, where it sold for about $3.6 million. And just like that, a ring tied to the final generation of Ottoman royalty passed quietly into a private collection. Empress Josephine engagement ring. One of the most heartbreaking royal rings ever to leave a historic family collection. The engagement ring of Empress Josephine, given to her by Napoleon Bonaparte in 1796, was never about size or extravagance. In fact, it was surprisingly modest. A ring set in gold with 2 pear-shaped stones, 1 blue sapphire and 1 white diamond, each under 1 carat. Yet what made this ring priceless was not the diamonds, but the centuries of history behind it. As Margrethe II of Denmark once famously said, "We don't count the carats, we count the centuries." And this ring truly embodied that idea. Despite opposition from Napoleon's family, the couple married in 1796 and later became Emperor and Empress of France. Josephine carefully passed the famous Toi et Moi engagement ring down to her daughter, and for more than 2 centuries it remained within the Bonaparte family, quietly surviving revolutions, exiles and the fall of empires. That's why many historians felt it should have never left the family at all. It was the kind of jewel that carried the legacy of an entire dynasty. But in 2013, the historic ring unexpectedly appeared at auction at Osuna during the sale L'Empire Fontainebleau, Les Rendez-vous de l'Histoire. The result stunned everyone. The ring sold for nearly $1 million, smashing its estimate by more than 47 times. After more than 200 years in the Bonaparte family, the ring quietly passed into a private collection, ending one of the longest surviving royal jewel lineages. Queen Soraya of Iran. Let's talk about one of the most glamorous royal engagement rings of the 20th century. When Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the Shah of Iran, proposed to Soraya Esfandiari Bakhtiari, he chose a ring that was nothing short of extraordinary. The jewel was created by the legendary Harry Winston, often called the King of Diamonds. The ring featured a spectacular 22.37 carat emerald-cut diamond, flanked by two tapered baguette diamonds set horizontally on a platinum band. With its bold size and elegant design, Princess Soraya's ring quickly became one of the most famous royal engagement rings of modern history. After her divorce from the Shah in 1958, Soraya kept the ring and moved to Europe. This was very different from what happened later with the jewels of Farah Pahlavi, which were left behind after the Iranian exile and are now preserved in the Treasury of National Jewels inside the Central Bank of Iran. When Soraya passed away in 2001, her estate, including this legendary ring, was eventually auctioned in Paris in May 2002. During the 3-day sale of her possessions, the ring sold for $838,350, nearly double its estimate, and was purchased by a private bidder. With that sale, one of Iran's most iconic royal engagement rings quietly left royal history and disappeared into a private collection. That's all for tonight. Let us know in the comments which one surprised you the most. And before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more incredible royal stories.